began, how God created it by hand. From mighty mountains to the raging sea, to every leaf on every single tree. It's in the holy book. Just open up and take a look. It's a story for young and old, the greatest story ever told. So lend an ear and you will hear the greatest story. The greatest story.
Long ago, God sent his prophet Samuel to find the future king of the Israelites.
Samuel, go to Jesse's house in Bethlehem. There you will find the new king over all Israel.
I wonder who that is.
My sons, come into the house. There is a guest here to see you.
Huh? Oh. David, you stay there and look after the sheep. We're going inside.
Jesse, you say you have 8 sons?
Yes, and they are such fine young men. Here they come.
Oh!
Which one could it be? Surely this must be God's chosen one.
No, Samuel, you are thinking too much about what he looks like. You must look inside. You must look at his heart.
Wait, there are only 7 here. Don't you have another son?
Yes, but he is the youngest and the smallest. See him off there guarding the sheep?
Him? No, it couldn't be him. Could it? Thank you. I will leave now.
You must look at his heart.
What's your name, son?
David.
God has told me that you will be the new king of Israel someday.
God is my friend. He helps me save my sheep.
Yes, and one day I hope you save us all. Goodbye, David.
Goodbye, and God bless.
David's 3 older brothers were called away.
David, come over here and pray with me as I bless the men of the family for battle.
To go fight for the people of Israel.
Eliab, Abinadab, Shammah, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and bring you safely home from battle.
But Father,
What, son?
you didn't bless me. I want to fight for Israel.
Don't worry about us, Father. We're old enough.
And strong enough. We can hardly wait to fight the enemy of God's chosen people, the evil Philistines.
We'll win and be home before you know it, David.
Hey, wait, everybody! Wait! Don't leave without me. Please. Please let me go, Father. I want to fight for the people of Israel, too. What's so funny? I may be small, but I'm brave. Why, just the other day, I saved our whole flock of sheep from a huge, ferocious lion. I hit him with a stone from my sling, and knocked him clean out. Want to see how good I'm getting?
Whoa!
No, David, not now.
First, I had to sock that lion right on his nose. Bang! And then I shook that rascal by his whiskers. And then I pulled his jaws apart and rescued our little lamb. And then... I'm not afraid of those Philistines. Oh! So please, Father, please let me go fight too. Whoa!
Guarding sheep isn't exactly the same as fighting the big bad Philistines, little David.
Stay home, little brother. Father needs your help to watch over the sheep, and Father can watch over you.
Grow up, little lamb. You may be brave enough to fight, but you're just too little.
Abinadab, Shama, time to go. Goodbye, Father.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Someday I'll go to battle for the people of Israel, Father. Someday.
Now the two great armies met for war in the middle of a vast valley. King Saul led the army of Israelites. But the enemy, the Philistines, had a giant on their side. The giant came marching across the valley toward the army of the Israelites. His legs were as big as tree trunks, his arms were strong as iron, and his steps made the whole earth tremble.
I am Goliath, the giant, and all of you are nothing but King Saul's little servants. Even if all of you fight me together, you can never beat me! So spare yourselves. I dare you. Choose just one man brave enough to fight.
Not me.
Not me!
Not me either.
Just one man. If he beats me, all of my men will be your servants. But if I slay him, all of you shall be our servants forever. Now, who is brave enough to fight a giant? Just step forward. I'll be waiting.
Every morning and evening for 40 days, Goliath marched to the center of the valley and gave his great battle cry.
Fight me today!
Not me.
Not yesterday.
Not today either.
None of us are brave enough to fight a 10-foot giant. Or foolish enough.
You are nothing but cowards!
He said it.
He's right.
You bet he's right.
Well, what do my brothers think?
Could I?
No, don't even think about it. I'll try to...
You're not risking your life for him. Maybe I'll.
Neither are you, Eliab. It's not worth it. Not even to marry King Saul's daughter.
Oh, but wouldn't it be great? Being rewarded with the princess's hand in marriage for beating the giant?
Oh, I wish this was over and we could go home to Father in Bethlehem.
The king will come up with a plan. You watch.
Bet I can get 5 in a row. Now remember, never be afraid.
David, that was a good shot, son.
Did you see that, Father? Maybe now you'll let me go join the army and fight with King Saul and the Israelites.
No, son, I told you before. They won't take you. You're too young to be a soldier. And you've got to get some more meat on those bones of yours.
But Father, I'm strong and I can run like a deer.
I said no, David. Now do as I ask, and take this food to your brothers. Then hurry home to tell me how they are. Now be careful, son. I pray you will bring good news.
Who will fight me today?
Whoa!
Is there one man brave enough to fight? Are all the Israelites nothing but cowards?
Oh, my God!
Ho, 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 ho!
Eliab! Abinadab! Shama, what are you doing? Why are you running away?
You'd better run yourself. If you know what's good for you.
Watch out, boy!
But who is that?
It's Goliath, the giant. He's the champion for the Philistines against the people of Israel.
But why won't anyone fight back?
What do you mean? Look at him. He's too strong. He's over 10 feet tall. None of us could even lift his spear.
But what about King Saul?
King Saul will give a rich reward to the man who slays that giant.
He'll even let him marry his own daughter.
And none of you are brave enough to try?
No, because none of us want to die for no reason.
Eliab, why won't you fight? Abinadab, why are you afraid? Shama, are you afraid of the giant too?
All the soldiers are afraid, little David.
Yes, little brother. Aren't you afraid too?
You're too young to be here at all, David.
Yes, little brother. Go home and take care of sheep where it's safe.
No, I can't. Someone has to fight Goliath.
But who? Everyone here is afraid.
I'll fight the giant. I'm not afraid.
You?
Yes. God is stronger than Goliath. And God will help me. Go tell King Saul, I'm not afraid.
I have news for King Saul.
What news?
So, there's this Israelite champion who's really a young shepherd boy. Says he wants to fight for King Saul and the Israelites. Says God will help him fight the giant. And he's never even been trained as a soldier.
Well, tell the foolish lad to go home. King Saul is no use for jokes out here on the battlefield. Tell the boy.
Tell the boy to come here.
But sire.
Joab, bring the boy here to me. Now. I wonder who he is. I wonder why he's the only one brave enough to fight the giant.
He is, I understand, a giant of a man, and I am not. His spear appears to be the size of a small tree, and all I've got is a slingshot. This Philistine is large, but I know who's in charge. I have a giant of a God, you see, bigger than the trouble in front of me. And even 9 feet tall starts looking pretty small next to the giant of a God with me. I fought the roaring lion, sent the wolves home crying every time. And with a little faith, I was not afraid. The fight was God's, not mine. This Philistine is large, but I know who's in charge. I have a giant of a God, you see, bigger than the trouble in front of me. Even 9 feet tall starts looking pretty small next to the giant of a God with me. I have a giant of a God, you see, bigger than the save me. I've got a giant of a God. Giant, giant, giant of a God. Giant, giant.
So that's the little hero?
Looks like he couldn't fight a flea.
Make way for the little giant killer.
I don't see any giant killer. I don't see anyone.
Neither do I.
Silence! Make way for this boy.
Huh?
I said make way for the shepherd boy. The king wants to see him.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Certainly, Commander.
Right away, sir.
Your Majesty, I am...
Silence! Let the boys speak.
Please, sir, don't be afraid of the giant. With God's help, I'll fight him for you. I'll fight Goliath for you and for all of the people of Israel.
But how can a boy like you fight Goliath? You can't match him in size or strength or skill, my boy. Why, you've never even been trained for battle.
It's true, Your Majesty. I am young and small. But God will make me strong. If God saves my sheep, God will save me from this giant. Now let me fight the giant for you and the people of Israel.
Yes, little David. And may God be with you. Joab, get my sword and shield. Get my armor. Put them on young David.
Huh?
Joab, I said dress the boy for battle.
Huh? Yes. Yes, Your Majesty. Well, didn't you hear King Saul? Do as he says.
I can hardly pick up your sword, Your Majesty. And your shield is much too heavy for me.
But, David...
God's help is all the armor I need. Please help me, God. Help me fight Goliath the giant for the people of Israel. Can you hear me, Goliath the giant? I am ready to fight.
Ha! Do you think you can fight with sticks and stones? You'll be sorry!
You fight me with your sharp sword and heavy spear, Goliath, but I fight you in the name of God.
Goliath! He's dead!
Hooray! Run! Run for your lives!
Look at those cowards run!
Yes! After them!
Come back here!
And the Israelites chased the Philistines away.
The boy killed the giant! Goliath is dead! But where is the boy? Joab, bring him here to me.
Little brother!
It is you!
Our brave baby brother David.
Bring the boy here to King Saul.
Thank you, my son.
Thank God, Your Majesty.
And that is how little David beat Goliath the giant with the help of God. This was only one of the many great adventures God had planned for David. David the shepherd boy grew up to become a great king who served God. Throughout David's long and adventurous life, he always remembered the comforting words of God.
Do you know how the world began? How God created it by hand? From mighty mountains to the raging sea, to every leaf on every single tree. It's in the holy book. Just open up and take a look. It's a story for young and old, the greatest story ever told. So lend an ear and you will hear the greatest story. The greatest story.
A long time ago, Jesus traveled the land teaching people how to be good to each other and to love God. Many people listened and learned from his stories, but some didn't understand and had questions.
What are you doing, Jesus?
You are sitting with sinners.
How can you be a teacher sent by God if you speak to tax collectors?
These men take our money and give it to the emperor.
We've even heard you eat with these men. They have turned their backs on God.
I'm sure God will have nothing to do with them. Why should you?
All people are special to God. Let me tell you a story. Once there was a shepherd with 100 sheep, but he lost one of them.
Jesus told how the shepherd wanted all of his lambs safe. He looked and looked. Until one day, the shepherd had a big celebration because he had found what he had lost.
But Jesus, the shepherd, was just doing his job.
There's more joy in heaven over someone who was lost and then found, who changes his life for God, than over 99 people who don't need to change.
Jesus then told about a woman who had 10 silver coins.
But she lost one of them.
When the woman discovered she had lost the one coin, she was very upset. She spent the whole night looking for her lost coin. She told her friends and they celebrated. Because she had found what she had lost.
That's the way God feels about people. In heaven, the angels sing whenever a person says he or she believes in God and wants to live a better life.
But Jesus, in your stories, the shepherd and the poor woman lost valuable things.
And all sinners, especially tax collectors, are worthless, bad people.
There's another story. A story about forgiveness and love.
There was once a man who was both a wealthy farmer and a loving father. The father tried to teach them how to take care of things.
Thank you, Reuben, but where is your... Benjamin.
Even though his sons were very different, he loved them both the same. The father hoped they would grow up to be hard-working farmers. But as the younger son grew up, he dreamed of distant places. He didn't want to stay on his father's farm. The son decided to leave his home the very next day.
Father! I had a wonderful dream last night.
Really? What kind of...
I was riding the finest horse in the city.
Oh, a city's a nice place to visit, but...
Everyone stared at me because I was handsome, smart, and wealthy.
Yes, you are all of those.
Father, farm life is fine for you. You're a farmer, but it's not for me. There are things I have to do. Places I have to see.
You're leaving home?
Yes, you have always promised my brother and me an inheritance, money for us.
But it's for your future.
Oh, please, Father, I want my money now. I must see the world, starting today.
But the father did not want his son to leave. He would miss him a great deal.
Oh, thank you, Father. I'm rich!
Hey, that's not fair. Benjamin can't take his money and leave like this.
If that's what he wants, he can do it.
Don't worry about the farm, Father. Reuben will be here.
But I care about you. I'll miss you, my son.
I'll be all right. I'm going to see the world.
Wave goodbye to your brother, Reuben.
The father could only hope that one day he'd see his son again.
No more dirty hands, no more backaches, and no more work. Isn't it magnificent?
It was the son's first time out in the world, and he wanted to buy everything he saw.
Well, what do you think? Now all I need is to be seen riding a magnificent horse. $37, $38, $39, $40.
You have bought the finest horse in my stable.
Well, I deserve the best, you know.
Do you want that mule anymore?
Nah, he reminds me of my father's farm.
None of my horses are worth 40 coins. Why, this mule is worth twice that much. The fool doesn't care how he spends his money.
I see something else to buy. I don't care what it costs. I must be seen riding through the streets today. Whoa! Horsey! Whoa!
Father, I've listed all of our animals.
Thanks, Reuben. That was a lot of work. I was just thinking about your brother. I'm sure you miss him as much as I do.
The son was still spending money. He hadn't learned his lesson yet.
I'm sorry, you'll have to leave. I have customers waiting. I beg your pardon, sir. How about a big fluffy pillow?
The boy still only thought about himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your dining pleasure, be Ira and his funny monkey.
I must have that monkey. Whoa!
Excuse me, sir, but you have stayed here for a week. Will you pay your bill?
Oh, is money all you want? Oh, uh-oh.
Out. Get out of my inn. This will pay for your bills.
Benjamin was now alone and very hungry.
Well, what am I going to do?
For the first time in his life, the son had to beg for food.
No free food?
The boy was so hungry, he needed to find work, any work. But the only job he could find was the worst possible.
Watch it! Don't make, well, pigs of yourselves. Oh, I'm so hungry. Thanks, little pig. I've been acting so foolishly. A pigsty is fine, if you're a pig. But it's not for me. At my father's farm, everyone, even the helpers, have a place to sleep, enough to eat. Wait a minute. I'll go home. Well, father won't want me back as a son. Not after the way I treated him. But anything's better than this mess. Hey, he might give me a job on his farm. I'm never gonna snap my fingers like that ever again.
So the son decided to go home, and he hoped that his father would not send him away.
Thank God, he's come back. Sir, your son is coming home.
Benjamin? My son is back?
My brother is back.
This is a very bad idea. My father won't even want to talk to me. Uh-oh, too late. Is he going to be mad? Father, I'm sorry for leaving, and now I only ask to work in your fields. I shouldn't even be called your son anymore.
Oh, welcome. Oh, welcome home. I'm so happy you're safe.
What?
Let's have a big party.
Father? I don't understand.
Send for food, lots of food, and get some musicians. My son has returned home.
But the older son was jealous of his brother.
Whoa! Out of my way. Tell me, is the banner hanging straight? No, it's all wrong. Everything's wrong.
The father welcomed his lost son back home. And the son realized how much his father loved him.
my money, lost my way. Left my house when I had it made. Just a slave to a broken heart till I found my Father's open arms. Feels so good to be home again. No more roaming the world like the wind. I won't go back to where I've been. Feels so good to be home again. Feels so good to be home again.
My boy is back, yes, it's true. Set the table, prepare the food. Watch me dance, bless this day. So good to know he's home to stay. My lost son is home again. No more roaming the world like the wind. I don't care where he's been. My lost son is here again. My lost son is home again.
I never thought my father would welcome back a boy like me. Now I can hardly believe the celebration feast.
My lost son is home again. No more roaming the world like the wind. I don't care where he's been. My lost son is home again.
Feels so good to be home again. No more roaming the world like the wind. I won't go back to where I've been. Feels so good to be home again.
My lost son is home again.
Where's Reuben? We can't celebrate without him. You're missing Benjamin's party.
I won't go. It's not fair. Father, I stayed with you and helped you with the farm, but you never gave me a party. But as soon as my lazy brother wanders back home, he gets a feast.
My son, anytime you want a party, you'll get it.
Huh?
I love you with all my heart, but today is something special. Your brother has returned. Like the tree we planted when you both were little. In the winter, it's empty and you might think it's dead, but in the spring, it comes back to life. I'm happy because I thought my son was dead, but he's alive, and now he's safe here with us. Come, celebrate with me.
No!
Help! Reuben! I've been a thoughtless brother. Can you ever forgive me?
Welcome home, brother.
The Father is like God. He is full of joy and forgiveness when someone decides to follow Him. No matter what we have done, who we are, God will always love us.
Bah! We are not convinced.
God even forgives the Pharisees.
Everyone else listened as Jesus told more stories that day, and they learned how God treasures every child, every man, and every woman.
how the world began, how God created it by hand. From mighty mountains to the raging sea, to every leaf on every single tree. It's in the holy book. Just open up and take a look. It's a story for young and old, the greatest story ever told. So lend an ear and you will hear the greatest story. The greatest story.
Once there was a man named Jacob who lived in the land of Canaan with his 12 sons. The oldest was Reuben, then Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Gad, Asher, Dan, and Naphtali. And finally, Benjamin and Joseph. They were Jacob's children by his second wife, Rachel. Being the youngest, they stayed at home while their brothers worked the pastures. Jacob loved all his sons, but Joseph was his favorite.
Father, when can I tend the sheep with my brothers? I dreamed it would be any day now.
Joseph, you and your dreams. You start tomorrow. And to celebrate the big event, I have a surprise for you. Now that he's of age, Joseph will join his older brothers in the fields.
Hey, all right.
And this will keep you warm.
Oh, Father, it's beautiful. Hey, look at these sleeves and the colors.
Father should have given you a coat like that, Reuben. You're the oldest.
Huh. In my dreams.
Joseph's brothers were jealous of his gift. It reminded them that their father loved him most of all. But the beautiful coat wasn't the only thing that made them angry at Joseph.
Judah, Asher, Simeon. The other night I had a wonderful dream. We were all in a field binding bundles of grain. And my bundle stood upright while yours gathered around mine and bowed down.
Bowed down? To you?
Huh?
Father may worship you, but we don't.
Hey, it was just a dream, Simeon.
I'm going to bed.
You know, last night I dreamed I was a star in the sky, along with 11 other stars. The sun and the moon were there too. And they all bowed down to me.
"11 stars? You mean 11 brothers. And we're supposed to bow to you? Who do you think you are? A king?"
If we're the stars, who are the moon and sun?
His mother and I. Joseph, you don't think your family should actually worship you?
Father, it was just a
Get to sleep. You and your brothers leave early in the morning. If you sleep late, they won't wait for you.
Father's got that right.
And I don't want to hear anything more about dreams.
The next day, Joseph was left behind.
Hello?
Uh-oh, the dreamers found us.
Get ready to bow, my brothers.
Look at him, strut around like a peacock in his new coat.
Sometimes I wish we could get rid of him.
No, you don't.
But I do. If he mentions one more dream.
Simeon, he's our brother. We couldn't hurt him. But you've given me an idea.
What were you trying to do? Lose me?
Joseph began to tell his brothers how smart he had been to find them, but they weren't listening. They had other plans.
Hey, careful with the coat! Reuben, Judah, no!
We'll keep him down there until we figure out what to do next.
Reuben planned to free Joseph when no one was looking and send him scurrying home.
Oh, no!
Reuben and Naphtali rounded up the flock while the others ate their supper. While they ate, a caravan approached.
Wouldn't it be funny if we sold Joseph to those merchants?
Why not? We'd finally be rid of the pest and have money from the sale.
Everyone agreed to the terrible plan. And Joseph was sold for 20 pieces of silver.
Brothers, why are you doing this? God, whatever happens to me, I still have my faith in you.
You did what to Joseph?
Calm down, Reuben.
I'll calm down when you figure out what we're going to tell Father.
We have figured it out.
We ripped Joseph's coat. We'll just make up some story. We looked everywhere for him, but only found his coat.
Oh, Joseph, what has happened to you? My son.
The brothers lied, and Jacob believed them. Joseph was taken to Egypt and accused of a crime. He hadn't done anything wrong, but he was thrown into the Pharaoh's prison anyway. Even in prison, Joseph trusted in God.
God, I didn't do anything bad, but I'm in here for some reason. I know in my heart that it's all part of your plan.
Joseph was right, And part of God's plan was to bless him with a special gift, the ability to understand other people's dreams.
Oh, what a terrible night. If I only knew what my dream meant.
Ah, my dream was 4 times as confusing as yours.
I can tell you what it means.
You understand my dreams? Ha!
Not I. Only God can explain them.
I believe you. Tell me about my dream. I was Pharaoh's cupbearer until I displeased him. In my dream, I saw a grapevine. On the vine were 3 branches with grapes. I squeezed them into Pharaoh's cup and put the cup in Pharaoh's hand.
The 3 vines mean that in 3 days, Pharaoh will set you free, and you'll be his cupbearer again.
Thank you, Joseph.
No, thank God, my friend. And when you're free, please tell Pharaoh about me. Tell him I shouldn't be in this awful place.
I promise.
Oh, enough about you. I'm next. In my dream, I had 3 baskets on my head. In the top basket were baked goods for Pharaoh. Suddenly, 3 birds came and ate everything out of the basket. What's that all about?
In 3 days, you will also leave this prison.
I knew it. I'm too important to stay here any longer.
Wait, there's more. Everything you own will be taken away, and you will be given Pharaoh's harshest punishment. I'm sorry.
Everything Joseph said came true, but the cupbearer forgot to tell Pharaoh about him. Joseph stayed in prison for 2 long years. Then one day,
Oh, what a strange dream!
Pharaoh met with the wisest men in his kingdom. Maybe they could understand his dream. But not one of them had an answer. Then the cupbearer remembered his promise to Joseph.
Oh, Pharaoh, there is a very wise man in your prison who might explain your dream.
Joseph, I dreamed that I was standing on the banks of the Nile when 7 fat cows came out of the water. Then 7 skinny cows came out of the river. And suddenly, the skinny cows ate the fat cows. What does it mean?
My God is telling you what he plans to do. The 7 fat cows mean that there will be 7 years with plenty of crops and food for everyone. But the 7 skinny cows mean that after that, for 7 years, no crops will grow and your people will have no food.
This is horrible! Terrible!
No, Pharaoh. God has sent you this message so that you can prepare. Build barns to save some of the food that grows in the 7 years of plenty. Your people will have plenty to eat.
It is true. You are filled with the Spirit of God. This is the wisest man in my kingdom. We'll build these barns and save our food. And there is only one man who I trust to do such an important job. This man, Joseph.
Joseph went right to work. And soon the barns were bursting with grain and filled with cattle. But Joseph's greatest achievement was that the people loved him. God had helped Joseph do these wonderful things, and Joseph never forgot to thank him. Seven years later, the terrible drought that Joseph had warned about arrived. No crops grew anywhere, not even in Joseph's old home, Canaan.
We're out of food, Father.
There's a wise leader in Egypt who has stored food for 7 years. He's selling it to anyone who needs it.
Then we'll go meet with him and buy his grain.
Not Benjamin. I want him safe here with me.
Joseph recognized his brothers.
Bless you, great one.
But they didn't recognize him, so he pretended to be a stranger.
Where are you from?
Canaan, great one, seeking food for our family.
You're spies!
No, we're brothers, from a family of 12. Please believe me.
Liar! There are only 10 of you.
One brother was killed, and Benjamin, the youngest, was left at home.
I'll sell you my grain, but to prove that you are innocent and honest, bring this younger brother of yours the next time you come. I am going to keep one of you here until you return. Do you promise?
We promise.
God is punishing us for selling Joseph into slavery. He pleaded with us, and we betrayed him.
I have no more time for you. Take your grain and go. And remember your promise.
Father, we had no choice.
Oh, Simeon, my son, a prisoner in Egypt.
But look, Father, we got the grain. Hey, my money's here in the sack.
Now we'll be accused of being thieves as well as spies.
Jacob didn't want to lose another son to Egypt, so the family tried to save their food. But soon, it was all gone.
We're leaving for Egypt.
And we must take Benjamin.
No, he'll wind up in prison like Simeon.
We promised, Father. If Benjamin doesn't come, Simeon will stay in prison.
And the Egyptian ruler won't sell us his grain. Benjamin will come home unharmed. I promise.
If he doesn't, Judah, I'll die of sadness.
Is your father well?
Yes, sir.
Good. God has blessed you. And you kept your promise, so I'll keep mine.
Then the brothers left, but Joseph had told his servant to secretly place his silver cup in one of their sacks.
Stop! Why do you repay good with evil? One of you has stolen my silver cup.
I don't understand. No.
Thief! For this crime, you will remain here in Egypt as my slave.
Please, if Benjamin doesn't return home with us, our father will die of grief.
He stays.
No! No!
Take me instead.
No, me.
Please, Great One.
When you threw me down that well, you meant it to be a bad thing. But in the end, God has turned it into something good. I came to Egypt and helped keep a nation from starving. It's me, Benjamin. Joseph!
It's true, I'm Joseph. Oh, can't you tell it's me? Look closer and you'll see the eyes of your lost brother. I am so glad to have my family gathered here. It's so good to know you're near again. It's really me, even I can hardly believe you are standing here after all these years. It was God's plan for me to be just who I am. It's true, you see, it's really me. What's done is over. Oh, brothers, dry your tears. It was God who sent me here, and my heart holds no anger. What you meant for evil then, God has used for good. Who'd have thought he would choose me? It's really me, even I can hardly believe you are standing here after all these years. It was God's plan for me to be just who I am. It's true, you see, it's really me. It's really me. It's really me.
Gather your families and our father and come live with me in Egypt.
Joseph, God be praised. You're alive and well.
Joseph and his family were never apart again, and God, who helped them survive the famine, raised up a great nation from this family. So Joseph learned that even when bad things happen, God can turn them into something good.
Do you know how the world began? How God created it by hand? From mighty mountains to the raging sea, to every leaf on every single tree. It's in the holy book. Just open up and take a look. It's a story for young and old, the greatest story ever told. So lend an ear and you will hear the greatest story. The greatest story.
Many, many years ago, in the land of Israel, the people were waiting for a very important event.
Left, right, left, right, left, right, left.
They'd heard the old story that one day God was going to send them a new king, a king who would protect them, bring them peace, and give the people more freedom.
When is the new king going to come anyway? Our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents promised he would.
They said he was coming.
Yeah, but when?
Even in King Herod's palace, people waited.
Faster, faster!
When will that new and better king get here?
What was that?
Nothing.
No talking aloud. You will eat only bread and water for the next 30 days. No, 50 days.
Oh.
Old stale bread.
Oh.
And only 4 drops of water. No, make that 3 drops of water a day. What are you looking at?
Then, one day, in the town of Nazareth, a young woman named Mary had a most amazing visitor, an angel.
Who are you?
Please don't be afraid, Mary. I am the angel Gabriel. I've come to bring good news.
News? For me?
God has chosen you from all the women of the world to be the mother of his son.
God has chosen me? How can this be?
Everything is possible with God. You will have a son. He will be the Son of God, and you will call the baby Jesus.
Whatever God wants, I will do. Oh.
Mary loved a man named Joseph. One night, an angel came to Joseph in his dream.
Joseph, God has great and wonderful plans for you and Mary. Mary is going to have God's son. He will be God's promised king. Give him the name of Jesus and take good care of Mary and the baby king when he comes.
Mary. My Mary. God sent an angel to tell me about the child. I love you, Mary.
I love you too, Joseph.
Soon after, Mary and Joseph were married. It was right about at this time that Augustus Caesar, the emperor of the whole Roman Empire, wanted to count the people who lived under his rule.
25, 26, 27.
There are 692 people from the town of Hebron, and 839 from the town of Jericho.
Add it to the list. 28, 29, 30. I'm getting tired. Send servants out to count all the people in my land.
Everyone was ordered to go to their hometown so they could be counted. Joseph had to take Mary to Bethlehem, the town where he was from. Bethlehem was very far away.
Excuse me, shepherd. Do you know how far Bethlehem is?
It's a long trip. 70 miles from here.
Don't worry, Mary.
I won't. I feel very safe with you, Joseph.
For you see, Mary was expecting the new baby to arrive soon.
Thank you, Shepherd.
God be with you.
And with you too.
By day, they traveled many miles.
We're more than halfway there.
I'm sure we'll be there in no time.
Here, Mary. It's nice and cool.
Thanks. I'm so thirsty.
At night, they slept in the open air. The next afternoon, they saw a sign. Bethlehem was only 3 miles away.
We're almost there.
Soon we'll be in a comfortable room at the inn.
There were many travelers in Bethlehem that night.
Where can I get a good meal?
Where's the inn?
Where's a good place to stay?
Good evening, kind man. Can you tell us how to get to the inn?
Of course. Why not take the shortcut? Just go around this corner, then up the steep hill. You'll pass the granary, then go right, then left, then 2 rights, then your second left, then let's see. Right, left, and you're there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Huh?
Excuse me. Do you know where the inn is?
Sure, it's right at the end of this street.
It is?
That's wonderful.
Thank you, little girl.
You're welcome. God be with you.
And with you too.
It was closer than we thought.
We're here.
Yes. Quit pushing.
I'd like a room for my wife and myself.
So would everyone. We have too many people here now. My husband keeps saying yes, yes, yes. Tonight, we'll have to sleep in the kitchen.
But we've been traveling for days.
What's going on here?
They want a room. What else?
I'm sorry. We really have no more space at all.
My wife is very tired.
We came from very far away.
Yes, so have a lot of people.
And my wife is expecting a baby.
I'll tell you what I can do. We have a stable out back. It's full of animals, but at least you'll have a roof over your heads. It'll be warmer and safer than sleeping out in the open.
Thank you. You're very kind.
Come, I'll show you. You have some important company. I hope you'll be comfortable here. It's the best I can do.
Thank you.
We're very grateful. Let's try and make the best of it.
During that night, a most wonderful thing happened. The baby was born, God's little son.
We'll call the baby Jesus.
Mary and Joseph loved their new baby boy very much.
I must wrap him to keep him warm and comfortable. The ox's feeding box. Jesus can sleep in here.
And so the baby Jesus lay in a manger, surrounded by the warmth of love and the protection of God, who was now ready to let all of heaven spread the news of the baby's birth. That night, just outside the town of Bethlehem, shepherds were watching their sheep.
How can you let your sheep walk around all night? He should be sleeping.
My sheep? That one is yours. You make him go to sleep.
I'm not going to walk way over there. You take care of him.
No, you.
No, you.
Look, it's no big deal. You just have to be nice to him, that's all.
What do you mean?
Just tell him to go to sleep.
Hey, sheep! Go to sleep!
Come over here, little guy. It's time to sleep. Come here, this way.
Greetings. Don't be afraid, shepherds. I bring good news of great joy. Tonight, a most wondrous thing has happened. Here in Bethlehem, the Son of God was born. He is Christ the Lord, the King that comes from God. His name is Jesus, and he is wrapped snugly in a manger.
A manger?
You can go see him right now. It is the happiest time of the world.
Whoa!
Wow. Ow!
A king in a manger? Right here in Bethlehem?
I always thought he'd be in a palace.
Let's go into town and see what the angel's talking about.
Let's go into town and see what the angel is talking about.
I just said that.
Then let's go.
Whoa! This way.
Hey, where are you going? Get back with the other sheep. Didn't I tell you to go back? Oh, all right. But you'd better behave. Sheep.
The angel was right. Look.
He's really there.
Hello there.
What brings you here?
We came to see the baby sent from God.
We know about him because an angel came and told us.
Then many angels came and sang about God's glory and peace on earth.
The angel said he'd be wrapped snugly and lying in a manger.
Just like this.
It's true. What the angel said is true.
The Son of God, the King, in a manger.
Mary's heart filled with wonder as the shepherds told their story. She knew that her newborn child was the Son of God. Meanwhile, in the far distant lands of the East, wise men who study the stars saw something new in the sky.
Oh dear, dear. Oh my. I beg your pardon.
Not at all. It was entirely my fault.
No, it was me, really. I wasn't looking where I was going. I was noticing that star.
So was I.
What a coincidence. I was too. I study the stars.
So do I.
So do I.
Oh dear. Oh, dear. I am from the Far East.
I am from the Near East.
I am from the Mid-East. Have you ever been to the furthest east?
Yoo-hoo! Wise men! Down here! You fellas wouldn't by any chance happen to know where that big fat star came from?
This was just what we were wondering.
We've never seen that star before. It's a completely new star.
Unless...
Unless...
The star is a sign from God.
Of course!
Oh, my. A sign from God? That has to be it.
The star is a sign from God? Yes, I see. No, I don't. What are you talking about?
You see, it is said that a new and bright star will be seen in the sky when the new king is born.
Really?
But there it is, the new and bright star.
It's also said that if we follow that star, it'll lead us to the new king.
A new king! He's come at last! The star is a sign! So, are you going to follow it?
Absolutely.
Positively.
Certainly.
We're gonna follow that star as long as it takes, no matter how far, guiding us on to the child, the chosen one. Starlight, star bright, glimmer of hope, glorious sight. Shine on into the night. Lead us to our dream, the newborn king. Oh yeah. What will we see? A palace of gold, royalty. Maybe he'll shine just like the star for all time. Starlight, star bright, glimmer of hope, glorious sight. Shine on into the night. Lead us to our dream, the newborn king. Oh, starlight, star bright, glimmer of hope, glorious sight. Shine on into the night. Lead us to our dream, the newborn king. The newborn king, yeah, the newborn
Go west, wise men, and bring us the news.
So the wise men traveled far from the east. They kept following the star, never taking their eyes off it, not knowing where it would lead them.
Look, the star is over Israel.
We should go to the king's palace in Jerusalem.
The newborn king must be there.
Please forgive me, Your Majesty. I am so sorry to wake you, but the most unusual thing has happened.
Tell me what it is already. And it better be good, or I'll have you locked up.
Yes, of course, Your Majesty. It's just that there are wise men visiting from the east.
Yes, and?
Well, they say they have come to see the king.
So, send them in.
They say they've come to see the newborn king.
What are they talking about? Do they think I was born yesterday?
Perhaps they were thinking there was another king.
Another king? Absurd. Ridiculous. How can there be another king? And if there is someone pretending to be a king, I want to know where he is. He'll be sorry, I'll tell you that.
Yes, Your Majesty, of course, Your Majesty. But what shall I tell the wise men from the east?
Tell them to get lost. No. On second thought, get my advisors. and hurry. Advisors! Advisors! Get in here.
Yes, Your Majesty?
What do you know about this newborn king?
Oh, has he been born?
Has who been born?
The king.
I am the king.
We mean the other one.
What other one?
The one you speak of.
The one I speak of? I don't know anything about any king except that everyone else seems to know about him. Why wasn't I told? Nobody tells me a thing.
But we didn't know he was born yet.
Who?
The newborn king.
Okay, if you're so smart, just where is this newborn king?
The old stories say he will be born in Bethlehem.
The stories say that, do they? That'll be all. Send these wise men in at once. Who told you to stop? Keep those fans going. And the rest of you, get back to work.
Your Majesty, I present the wise men from the east.
King Herod, we have come to meet the newborn king.
And where did you hear of this king?
We saw the star that God put in the sky.
A star? From God?
A beautiful star.
A bright star.
A sign from God.
We knew that if we followed the star, it would lead us to the new king. We want to worship him.
This new king is not here.
Then where is he?
He's in Bethlehem. I'm not sure. Maybe you should go find him. Yes. See what I care. Go try and find him. And if you do find him, come and tell me where he is. I would like to worship the new king myself. Enough of that.
When the wise men left the palace, they looked into the sky and saw the star once again.
Look!
There it is! On to Bethlehem!
The wise men followed the star right into Bethlehem.
Up this way.
Come on, everyone! Come see the newborn king!
And there, right above the manger, was the star. The wise men knew they had been guided to the right place.
The king is here. Where is he? We've traveled from distant lands
to celebrate the newborn king.
May we come in?
Please.
We knew the baby was born
because of the star.
We followed it all the way here.
We have brought gifts.
The wise men gave Jesus gold and sweet-smelling perfume and incense.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting us worship the King. We thank God for his great wisdom. He has sent us his Son.
Praise be to God! Hooray for the new king!
Praise be to God! Hooray for the new king!
The wise men never did go back to King Herod to tell him the good news about baby Jesus. Everyone rejoiced and thanked God for sending them his son, the new king of the world.